Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Serious. Let's talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum because things got pretty intense. So, yesterday we said there's still a high chance that Bitcoin would go down and test the next support. And right now, Bitcoin actually dumped all the way to about $108,600. That's only a few $100s away from the Fibonacci 0.618 retracement from bottom to top, which is right around $108,200. This is the same area we looked at back in late August for a left side long setup. And besides being the 0.618, this zone is also a consolidation range. Let's not forget, it took almost 60 days for Bitcoin to form that base. So yeah, the first pullback into this 0.618 area was valid for a left side long. Now, what about this time? Well, the key 0.618 level is around $108,000. But if you look just a little lower, there's a very horizontal bottom near $107,180. Let's just call it $107,000. That's where a lot of long liquidity sits. If you're holding longs from earlier in this cycle without a stop loss, then honestly, that's probably where you'd place your stop. And that means this level, although it's where longs may get stopped out, is also a key level for new longs to consider, because when liquidity gets taken, the market often bounces. So yeah, the idea is simple. Liquidity grab, wick, recovery, short-term bounce. That's why when price wicked down, I took some profit on longs as it bounced back up. But then, it rolled over again, and now we're back at $108,600. That was really my left side attempt for a potential rebound trade. Now, will I take the same approach again? Honestly, no. The first touch of $108,000 was okay for a left side long, but on the second touch, I'd prefer to wait for a right side confirmation. And actually, what I'd rather see is this. Bitcoin doesn't just V-shape bounce straight from $107,000. I'd like it to fake support first. Maybe make traders think we've got one bottom, two bottoms, three bottoms, and then suddenly flush one more time to grab that $107,000 liquidity. That would be healthier, because then you get the classic stop hunt, liquidity grab, and reversal.
From a midterm view, if we get that second bottom, taking out the first bottom's liquidity around the 0.618, that's when I'd look to take my first real long position. Then, if we break through structure, like above $113,500, that's when the second leg higher confirms, and we complete a larger W bottom structure. As for the head and shoulders bottom idea, yeah, that's pretty much invalid now. If price goes past the 0.728 retracement, you just have to scrap that pattern. On the shorter time frames, if Bitcoin dips again and breaks those lows, I think the prior uptrend is over. At that point, we're probably hunting for that double bottom liquidity around $107,200 to $107,000. Different exchanges might show slightly different prices, but, just take it as a clean round number. Before we jump into Ethereum USD, let's quickly check the Ethereum/Bitcoin ratio. ETH/BTC has already dropped into its own 0.618 retracement zone. And yeah, that means there's also long liquidity sitting there. If you're long ETH against Bitcoin and you didn't stop out earlier, then this is probably your last line in the sand. Because if this level doesn't hold, the ETH/BTC pair hasn't finished its downside yet. So maybe we see a liquidity grab there as well. A wick down, take out liquidity, and then Ethereum can start a healthier rebound. Now let's talk about Ethereum itself. On the daily chart, Ethereum has dropped back below that key $3,963 support we talked about in the last video. And so far, it hasn't reclaimed it. If you're trying to long from the left side, you really should only be using small position sizes here. Personally, I also opened a small long around the 0.618 retracement, but, it's just a quarter-size position. Definitely not full-size. The key is, wait until Ethereum breaks back above $4,100. That's the previous swing high. If it reclaims that, then yeah, we can start adding more longs. Otherwise, this could just be another false breakdown, what we sometimes call a golden pit setup. Ethereum loves to do these fake-outs. They usually last 2 or 3 days before price recovers. But for now, you can't just assume this is the bottom. If you're bottom fishing here, risk is high. For higher probability setups, wait until price confirms by breaking resistance. Just like I said yesterday, until Ethereum is back above $4,100, we do not turn bullish. Even if it chops around here or dips into the 0.618, we're not calling for upside until it proves it. All right, guys, that's it for today's breakdown. Bitcoin is right on that $107,000 to $108,000 support zone. Ethereum is struggling below $3,963, and ETH BTC is sitting right at its own 0.618 liquidity zone. Let's see if we get that liquidity grab and reversal play. If not, stay cautious. And hey, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to Crypto Serious and follow me on Twitter for more real-time updates. Catch you in the next one.